Yeah, hello everyone. So this is Sujit Patel. I am from InventModel Technology Solution, and we have our team Shivangi, Karthik, Aditi from InventModel, and we have our training partner for the Ab Initio. So who is having the great expertise on the Ab Initio training, who will help us for end-to-end Ab Initio training delivery. So let me give some kind of roadmaps and product detail of InventModel, what we are going to deliver. So we do have currently 50 plus trainers with us for the different tools and technology, especially for the data domain. And we are targeting 200 plus trainer onboarding by end of 26. So we'll have most of the tool and technology onboarded on our platform, which is available for the live training. So you can leverage these training features. You can upskill your kind of knowledge. If you'd like to work in a new project where you don't have expertise, so you can take the help of our training platform and you can upskill and you can work in the your new project. So our trainings are mostly based on the real-time use cases. We are delivering more than 200 plus use cases in all the trainings, and also we are taking care one end-to-end a real-time project for giving you insight on that particular tools and technology. Yeah, apart from that, we will have the separate session for the resume preparation, separate session for the interview preparation, and also we do have a separate team for hiring and recruitment, who is going to push your resume to our different client partners. Yeah, so you'll get end-to-end complete package, starting from us upper skilling of the foundation kind of levels, then to advanced level, then to resume preparation, interview preparation, and also for the job placement. Yeah, and after getting a job, if you are stuck, we will have to have a kind of feature that we can provide you the job support as well. Okay, so we'll be there with you in entire your kind of IT journey once you are planning for upskilling. So our entire team will be there to help you. And once you complete the live training after say 3 months or after 6 months, if you'd like to rejoin the batch, so you need no need to pay additional cost. It's a one-time kind of investment. So once you are enrolling, later at any point of time after 3 months, after 6 months, after 1 year, you can join some of the classes. You can revise, refresh it, and then again you can retry. Yeah. So these all unique features basically differentiate us from other competitors, and we want to become the kind of unique and very productive training kind of service company in the IT world, and we are trying it. So let's try to move on to our Ab Initio expert, and he will try to give us a kind of roadmap of Ab Initio course content. He will give us some insights of Ab Initio kind of use cases. So let's try to hand over to him and
And I'll go through the what are the prerequisites and all. So let me share my screen.
yes, sure, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So the course content is going to be like a, combination of Unix and SQL and a data warehouse and Ab Initio. So in the Unix, you are going to see the course like a, so we need to have the file handling, how we are going to handle the file in terms of how the file is going to modify it or else or a file is going to be moved from one location to another location. In real time, we are going to change the file location in terms of server paths. So how to handle the file by using the Unix commands. So that part is enough for the Ab Initio level, Ab Initio developer role level. So we are going to cover that part in the Unix for 3 sessions, which covered by in 3 hours. So next, we are going to cover Unix shell scripting. So that is going to be helpful in a case where we are going to handle ab initio objects through the shell scripting level script. So how to write the script language and how to handle the variables and how to handle the objects through the without accessing GDE. We are going to handle the objects of GDE from the Unix level. So this is we are going to cover in the Unix part. So the next level we are going to see data warehouse concepts. So we have some terminologies where if you want to learn for new technology, every time you are going to have some new terminologies in the backend. So in order to move with that particular course, so first of all, you need to know what is the terminologies in that course content. So these entire ETL tool Ab Initio is handled in the data warehouse concept. So what is data warehouse concept? The entire terminologies we are going to cover, like what is database, what is a table, and what is a data warehouse, what is the difference between both of them, and what is data mart and what is data lake, and what is OLTP, like online transactional systems or analytical processing systems. So all these things we are going to cover in the data warehouse concepts. Like in real time, ACID properties is there, or else SDLC lifecycle is there. What is the software development lifecycle? Suppose once the project is onboarded, what is happened in which stages? So how many stages is going to be there in the real time? Once from the starting from the planning level, uh, it is going for the production level. So what is the different kinds of level? So these terminologies we need to have some knowledge before we are going into the ETL technology. So these data warehouse concept is going to be covered with the terminologies like this. Like we have star schema and snowflake schema, like how the data is handling with the different tables. What is the difference between fact table and dimension table? So these are the data warehouse concepts we are going to cover for prerequisite of our ETL tool. In the next case, we are going to handle some databases because our target is a database. So irrespective of the database, we are going to cover the SQL concept. So every time the DB is going to be changed as a target, but our database will be a not a different case. So for that case, we need some uh, prerequisite knowledge of SQL, where we need to see the data, or we need to remove the data from the database. We need to particularly view the data of different columns, where we need to alter the table, or we need to see the data in order wise, or where we need to see the data in the group wise. So these kind of things we are going to learn in the course before going to the ETL section. So these are the three prerequisites which we are going to learn before ETL tool. So one is Unix, and another one is data warehouse concept, and another one is SQL. So these are the three prerequisites which we are going to learn before going to the ETL. So the next, in the ETL part, we are going to cover different kinds of components. So Ab Initio is a ETL tool which is handled with the components. So where we are going to drag and drop our components. So first we'll see the introduction, what kind of components and what kind of architecture we have. We have different kinds of component architectures, like cooperating system, EME repository, and metadata. So these are some kinds of components level in the architecture of Ab Initio. And also it is an ocean of components where we have separation to the separation of group levels to the components types, because we have different types of components which handles the transformation types. So we have categorized those component levels into different ways. One is partition components level, departition level components, and transform components, database components, dataset components. So these are the different types of components level, where each type of components will perform different operations. So transform category level components will act as a transformation related kind of work, and whereas validation components will do your data validation things, where it will do the data validation and data cleansing. Same as your partition components will divide the data into different data sets, whereas departition will do combining the two or three or multiple level data sets, and it is going to save in a different output level. So these are the several types of components type which we have in Ab Initio. So apart from the components types and different cases, we are also going to see what is mean by some kinds of phase or checkpoint, or like how to handle the data validation, and how to do the lookup cases. So how to do the performance tuning. So apart from this, we are going to see some scenario cases of real time. Okay, suppose we have real time cases with the banking experience where you went for some bank and you asked for some alternative of your email ID. Suppose you went for the bank and you asked for the alternative of your email ID. You want to change your email ID. So in this scenario, your SED type 2 will enter. So in SED type 2, what happens means when you went for the bank, you want to change your email ID. So in the back end, what will happen is your history is going to be remained. So your what is your previous email ID is there, that is going to be remained as it is. But in place of original email ID, the new email ID is going to be replaced. So that is for the case whenever something is happened to your transactions. So they will keep it as a proof that you have changed your email ID on this particular date for this purpose. So this is also happened by the ETL tools. So it will keep the history and it will do the real-time analysis on these kinds of things. So now I'll take you through some PPT. So where we'll have some real-time use cases of our Ab Initio and all. Okay. So first of all, Ab Initio is an ETL. So when it was started, so it is started around 1995 by the Ab Initio software company. Okay, so which was started in the USA and the founder is Shirley Handler. Okay, so this is related to the simple introduction related to the Ab Initio software. So in this PPT, the agenda is what is ETL and what is data warehouse concept and what is the prerequisites for the ETL and what is OLAP and OLTP, where this ETL tool works in real time and why the companies are going to choose Ab Initio rather than other ETL tools. What is the company's interest in making choosing this tool and what kind of opportunities we are going to get and what are the different topics we are going to cover in the upcoming sessions. Okay. So first thing, the prerequisites for the ETL will be database. Like we need to have the interaction with the databases of different cases, Oracle, DB2, MS SQL, or different kinds of databases. So it can be a cloud also. So irrespective of the database, we are going to cover the SQL part where you can have the knowledge to access all the databases without having any prior knowledge in the other databases also. So that's why this SQL was included in the course content. And also you need to have the knowledge on what is flat files. Okay, so flat files in a sense, we have CSV file, .csv, .xml file, .dat file, and .jsn file and Excel files. All these files we are going to call in the real time the flat file cases. So these flat files you are going to utilize as a input. Input is nothing but it is a source for your ETL tool. So you need to have the knowledge on these kind of file formats. The next case, transformation logics. So transformation logics in a sense, we are going to do the data validation before the data, real-time data is going to be stored in the data warehouses. Suppose in previous days, we have some account opening forms. Okay. So where we are going to fill it manually, the person who is sit in the backend bank, so he's going to fill the form in the online and he's going to submit it. Okay. So in some cases, some people won't write the email IDs and even some people won't write the mobile numbers. Okay. So that time, the time taken to open the account was 7 days. So what happened in that 7 days means the tool will process your forms or whatever the data that was inserted by the people. It will do the analysis on which columns are empty. Okay. The people is trying to do the loading of your data in the database, but it will not happen because of the empty columns which was required. So even though the required columns are not filled, the data is not going to be stored. So that type of validations also we are going to perform by using the ETL. So not also do the validation, we are also do the valid and invalid records separation. And the next case, data types and formats. So data types in a sense, we have a string column. Okay, so suppose take my name. So my name is a string data type, and today's date is there. So that is a date data type. Take my phone number. So my phone number is a numeric one. So it is a numeric data type. So why the data types is important in the ETL means we have input data which is consist of some columns. Okay, maybe it consists of 20 columns. So that 20 columns is having different kinds of data types. So that data types we need to validate in the DML case. We need to write the data manipulation language to read the data perfectly. So that cases your data types and formats is going to be utilized. And in some cases, programming logics like if else or integer string. So these conditions will be applied in the XFR files where we are writing some transformation logics. So, and also Unix commands to move the file from one location to another location, or removing the duplicate files. So, or else we need to edit some files. So in that type scenarios, your Unix commands also required. In real time, we are going to use SED commands and grep commands and AWK commands, or else cat commands or vi commands will be useful for the Unix level. So these are the prerequisites which we are going to be required in the before going to the ETL to learn. Now we are talking about ETL. So what is mean by ETL? Okay, so ETL is a stage of three phases. Okay, so ETL is a phase of three phases. One is extraction. Okay, and the next one is transformation, and the third one is loading. So extraction, in a sense, the data is going to be extracted from the various sources. Your source may be a database or your source may be a flat file. So irrespective of the uh, source, you are going to utilize two different types of components for the extraction. One is if your extraction is a file, you can go for one type of component. If your extraction is a database, you go for another type of component. So extraction is a phase you are going to collect your data from different sources. And transformation is a phase you are doing the real-time operation on your extracted information. So the real-time transformation examples here I have mentioned, like removing the duplicates. Okay, so I have a data. Okay, so uh, I have 100 records. So where the 100 records have been, some duplicate records are there. So I have a component which will be useful for the removal of duplicates, and I load the data into some output file or database. So the our transformation phase is using for the kinds of operations you are going to deal with the raw data. So the raw data is going to be transformed into a valid data by using several types of transform components. So here are the examples, like we have transformation categories, removing duplicates, standardizing the formats like current, changing the date formats into different levels, or changing the Indian currency into other countries' currency, or deriving a new values. Suppose I have a list of employees who is working in an organization. So I want to apply a different kind of grade based upon the salary. So I will derive a new column with existing data. I have only the data related to the employees of salary. So with that employee salary, I'll derive a new column that is a grade. So where salary is greater than 1 lakh, so that people will get the grade as A. So where the people will greater than less than 50,000, that people will get the grade as C. So I am going to derive a new column by using the existing columns. And also I'll have some totals and averages, minimum, maximum. So where these kind of operations will be useful for the people who are in the sales markets level. Okay, or else e-commerce kind of things, platforms, these kind of transformation levels will be applicable. And also joining multiple data sources. So I can also join single type of data sets into multiple type of data sets. So your transformation has happened. And what is your next step? So after the transformation, the data will be useful for the organization. So the raw data will not be useful for any analysis purpose. So after transformation, your data is going to be loaded into a data warehouse. Okay, so data warehouse in a sense, a place where your data is going to be stored. It is like a historical data. So the examples of data warehouses are Redshift, Teradata, Netezza. So your data warehouse must be a cloud also. Nowadays, the data is going to be stored in Snowflake and AWS also. So these are some cloud-based data warehouses. So always the raw data is going to be transformed and it is going to be loaded into a data warehouse. Your ETL tool will not also load your data into a database or data warehouse. We can also extract and transform the data, and we can also get the data in the type of file format also. Always your output file should not be a data warehouse. It should be a file case also for the analysis purpose. So this is the overview of extract, transform, and load. So this is the example which is separating how the ETL is going to be worked in the real time. So we have a bank called ICICI. It is having around 25 plus years of uh, usage in the worldwide. So we are having several datas in the accounts related data. We have loans related data, investment related data, and insurance related data, and employees related data of ICICI Bank, and what is the properties that bank is going to have. So all the information we are going to have in the some databases. Okay, so if some customer is going for the bank and if he asks for any kind of previous year related information, so they will ask you to wait for some time. Okay, so if anything related to your transaction, like if you want to deposit or if you want to withdraw, so these kind of operations is going to be completed within a fraction of seconds and all. So why? Because always your data which is there like 3 months to 1 year, that kind of period data is going to be stored in databases, and the previous year data is going to be loaded into data warehouses by using the ETL tools. Okay, always your historical data is not going to be stored in the database. Why? Because it is leads to lag the database when the data is more. So that's the reason the banks always prefer data warehouses to store their historical data. Okay, irrespective of the different types of file formats, the data is going to be stored in data warehouses. So for that cases also, your ETL tool Ab Initio plays a major role in the banking and finance sectors. Okay, so the phase where you are seeing on the left side is a OLTP phase. The phase where you are seeing the right side is a OLAP phase. In the next slides, I'll show you the difference. What is OLAP and what is OLTP transformations? Okay, so before that, data warehouse concept just now we have seen. Okay, so this is a data warehouse. So what this data warehouse is going to have? The historical data of a organization. So why this data is going to be required for the organizations, not only for the banking. So some e-commerce kind of things or some finance related companies. So why this data warehouse concept is required means they will do the analysis like suppose any sales company is there. Take the example of Amazon. Okay, so they have once we order, we'll get some order ID that going to be stored in their database. Okay, so historical data they want to see, so they have some big billion days. Okay, so maybe on yearly basis they have some 3 to 4. So by using this historical data, they are going to compare on which big billion day they have some huge number of transactions are happened, on which product they made big number of orders. So for these kind of things, they will store the historical data and they will do the analysis. And this is also helpful for them to grow their business. So how it means from the historical data, they can come to know on which product they want to improve more. So number of sales more in a sense, obviously they want to invest more amount in that product. So whenever the sales are less, so they will not go for any investment on that type of product. Same related to the sales or any kind of finance related, so marketing related. So that always your data warehouse concepts or the data which is there in your data warehouse will be useful for the analytics, business growth, and reporting purpose. Okay, and let's come to the components of Ab Initio. Okay, we have around 4 types of components in the Ab Initio architecture, which is very new for us. Okay, so your Ab Initio ETL tool is a GUI based platform. So Unix is a command based platform. Okay, same as your Ab Initio is going to have a graphical user interface. So it is not a command based application. It is a graphical designed platform. So where you are going to drag and drop and you are going to perform some ETL workflows. Okay, so one is GDE, that is nothing but graphical development environment. This is the one of the important component in the Ab Initio architecture. So where all the Ab Initio developers are going to be work on this environment only in the real time. So where you are performing some ETL operations. The next component is cooperating system. So what is cooperating system means? Suppose here I'm using one Windows laptop. Okay. So I'm using some Windows laptop means I'm opening some file. I have opened this PPT. Okay. So on which engine I am able to open my PPT? In my Windows in my Windows operating system, I am able to open. Okay, so in real time, the Ab Initio is going to be installed in the cooperating systems that is called servers. Okay, so your real-time Ab Initio is going to be installed on the Unix servers, not in Windows systems. Okay, so cooperating system is a place, it's like execution engine that is going to be execute the objects which are developed by the GDE. And the third case, it is a enterprise metadata environment. That is nothing but it is a place all your data of objects, graphs, DMLs, components, data sets. So all the developed objects is going to be stored in the location of EM. So EME is a place of repository. All your object is going to be stored. So now I'll give you the overall uh, matchings between your 3 components. So once you opened your cooperating system Unix server, so it is we have some list of objects. Suppose you went for GDE and you double clicked on it. So it is asking our cooperating system engine to open the graph through the GDE. So that is the communication between your GDE cooperating system and EME. So EME is a place where your all objects will be located. Once you open it through the cooperating system, your graph is opened in GDE. So this is the interaction between your GDE cooperating system and EME. And we have another phase where it will be useful for the people who is working in the production level. So that is conduct IT. So this is a place you are going to manage the sequence of job executions. Okay, so this is useful for the people who is working in the real time for the batch processing or production people. So where we are handling the number of jobs that is going to be executed in a sequence manner without our proper manual usage. So we are going to set some time. So for that particular time, if your system is shut down or you are not available, so that time this is going to be executed. So simply this is the workflow of our Ab Initio. So source, it should be a DB or flag files or API. So it can be anything. So but you are going to utilize and you are going to develop the graph in the GDE. So it is going to be executed via cooperating system, which the data is going to be stored in the EMA repository, and you are scheduling it through the conduct ID. After that, it is going to be stored in the data warehouse or cloud. This is overall workflow of our ETL tool, where it is interacting with different levels of objects. Yeah. So continuation to that, we have OLTP and we have OLEP, which is left. So always OLTP data should be fast. So you went for a bank and you asked for the withdrawal or in some amount deposit. So that needs to be act very quickly. So the information which you are seeing in the real time in the banking sector, so where the people is operating, so that type of operational data is calling as online transactional processing data. So we'll see some of the examples for that. One is bank transactions. So even after you done some bank transaction in online, you are going to receive some transaction ID within a fraction of seconds. Same as your ATM withdrawals also required immediate attention. So once you withdraw the amount, you will receive immediate fund. Same e-commerce IDs and airline booking and IRCTC and online transactions. So these are the transactions where you required less number of time to get order IDs or transactional IDs. So these kind of fast query processing operational transactions, we call it as OLTP transactions, and where OLAP transactions is a place which is we do in the data warehouse concepts. Okay, so the OLAP transactional data which is there in data warehouses will be useful for the sales forecasting. So right side we have an example how the sales is there in the past 10 years. From 2010 to 2019, we are going to see the sales growth of a some organization. So for this purpose, the data which is there in the data warehouse is going to be utilized. One is sales forecasting, so how the sales are there, and business performance, like how we need to improve our business, on which area we need to work more, and how to interact with the customers. And we need to track the records of an employee, how the employee is performing on his targets. And so overall, this is related to the OLAP and OLEP differences. Now, what kind of opportunities we are going to get if we learn the Ab Initio course? So most of the Ab Initio is going to have the clients from the banking, finance, and telecom, which is occupied by the 70%. So City is the major client for the Ab Initio in present market. And apart from Citi, we are going to have from the Indian sector, we have ICICI, HDFC, and JP. So, and we have some other finance related companies like Pfizer and all. So these are some client which is handling our credit card kind of transaction related things, which is related to the credit card risk and all. So Coming to the telecommunication, Vodafone, Airtel, and these kind of clients is also using for the billing and data management purpose. Coming to the healthcare, United Healthcare, and most of the US and UK clients are there, not from India. You don't have any Indian clients related to the healthcare and insurance. And retail, we have Amazon, Walmart, and Tesco. So these are the some companies that are using Ab Initio for their ETL product. And these are the several kind of topics that are going to be covered in our entire course content. So as I said earlier, Unix, SQL, data warehouse concept, Ab Initio, and after that resume preparation, some kind of mock interviews and like a placement assistance, and also will give you some uh, real-time scenarios. So even I'm working in real time, so I'm going to give you some real-time scenarios to work on.
Yeah, hi. It was really a fantastic demonstration of all the roadmap, course content, and all the things. We really appreciate for your means a clear demonstration. So
Yeah,
let's
thanks.
go with some useful, I think, most frequently asked questions by the student. So, yeah, the first question is that who will be the right audience for this tools and technology? Means there are multiple tools and technology in IT. So from which background, if, consultant if coming, like if it is coming from data background, Java, Python, or which background will be more preferred, or kind of more preferable kind of audience for this tool?
Yeah, sure. Like the people who wants to, like people who are wants to less coding knowledge they have. So they want to go for less coding tool and they want to work in a real-time data. So that people who wants to less number of coding, so those people can go for opting these kind of Ab Initio tool. So because also with the Ab Initio, not only to the ETL developer roles we have. So if we learn ETL tool and we have a combination to that PySparks and all, we have a better options to go with the data engineers level or else batch support engineers or else we have data warehouse developers or else big data engineers. So not only stick to this only ETL tools, we have a wide market. If you learn any thing apart from this ETL tool, we have a very good opportunities to go with that kind of roles also.
Okay, that's great. So let's discuss about the lab. This is a very common question. So how
Mm.
students are going to be practice on that? Are we going to provide the software to install it? So my understanding is that we are going to provide them the software they can install in their own machine, right, for the older
Yes,
version.
yes,
And we will conduct, I think, 4 to 5 live session on the latest version also, so
yes,
that we can show all the gaps or all the new kind of features which is available in the latest version in the SaaS version, right?
yes,
So we will give them the software, they can install it for the older version,
yeah,
and we will also conduct few sessions so that they can understand what new has been added in the latest version and all, right?
yes, exactly.
Yeah, so there is no any bottleneck for the lab. We will take care complete responsibility of the lab. We will provide you the software, you can install it. So this is fine. Apart from that, as we said that resume preparation, interview preparation, job support and all will already take care.
Mm.
So I think we are fine. Now we can conclude this demo. We have already covered complete roadmap, demonstration, use cases, different scopes, different industry usage and all. So we are fine. Let student kind of candidate go ahead with this demonstration, and if they will have any questions and all, so they can connect to our training advisors, and we can try to clarify all those questions. So thanks everyone. Thanks for your time.
Yeah,
Let me stop the recording.
thanks to everyone.